Oh man, oh man. The heat is on. Da 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 da. The heat is on. It's on the street. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it is on. But what we're going to be on today is we're going to be talking about the Jeep Wranglers and the Ford Broncos. I finally got to put my hands on a Bronco. So I got a little something to talk about with you. And I think we're going to take a look at this Jeep we're sitting in and kind of compare a little bit to both of them. Unfortunately, I don't have the keys to a Bronco to be able to do that with just yet, but we're getting there. So anyways, whoa, man, the heat really is on. I mean, it just does not take long down here in the southern part of the country for it to start getting hot. And with that being said, you're thinking about buying a vehicle that you can drop the top on, take the doors off, all that fun stuff for summertime, right? Maybe you're going to the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Maybe you're coming down to Charleston. Maybe you're going to Florida, Tampa, Orlando, Jacksonville, Miami, where the players play, wherever you're going, right? Wherever you may be going, who knows? But what I'm getting at here is there's only a few particular type vehicles out there that are really built for having a lot of fun. And I'm telling you, right now, your options have gotten down to these top two: the Jeep Wrangler, Ford Bronco. Let's talk about it. All right, we can't do a whole lot without having a seatbelt on, so let's strap up and take her for a drive. This is kind of like a vlog, right? That's what we call these videos, vlogs. All right, so anyways, what are we in right now, right? We're in a 2016 JKU. It's got some really nice options on it. It's hooked up, as we may say. It's got the lift kit, the big wheels, the tires, you know, the lights, all the stuff you could ever dream of having on a Jeep, it's got, right? And there's so much more that you could get. But anyways, so I went over to the Ford store right here in North Charleston just a few days ago, and I went and looked at the new Ford Bronco. And whoa, let's don't hit the Tesla back there, right? One thing you need to pay attention to, folks, if you've never owned a vehicle with a fifth wheel off the back of the car like a Jeep has or a Bronco has, if you get one, please pay attention when you're backing up, because it does not take much to back up into a car and bump the car with your spare tire on the back. I've done it before. Actually, a person parked their Ford Flex behind me one day when I was in a Jeep like this, and I thought I had it, and I was backing up, and good gracious, I backed up a little too much, and crunch, I crunched the hood on the Ford Flex. And long story short, it was a customer's car, and it wasn't here at this store, but it was a customer's car. Thankfully, the car got traded in at the store, and it really wasn't worth that much because it had over 200,000 miles, so it didn't really hinder the whole deal a whole lot, but it made things very uncomfortable for me. And man, oh man, it was, you know, realistically, it was about a $600 fix. Thankfully, the store I worked at the time, where I was selling Jeeps, were kind enough to not charge me for all that, right? They actually fixed it, painted the car, I mean, made it look beautiful, and then they sent it to the auction. So yeah, got lucky on that one. So thanks to those team members over there for not hitting me up for $600 out of my paycheck to fix the Ford Flex. But anyways, yeah, the goodness gracious, always traffic wherever we're driving. But you know, the nice thing about a Jeep is if you're in a situation where you need to go around somebody, you can just drive it on in the dirt over here and just go right around them, you know? Not a problem, you know? That's the beauty of owning a vehicle that sits up higher with big tires. And so yeah, I got to go look at the Ford Broncos, and I'm really excited about it. I think it's kind of cool, you know? I really do like Jeeps a whole lot too. I mean, they're cool vehicles. I never really was into you know, Jeeps and lifted vehicles a whole lot. until I went to work at the other store I was at that sold Jeep Wranglers, and we went off-roading and went camping and did stuff with the Jeeps, and that really got me interested in this whole part of the car business, selling stuff, four-wheel drive and all that. One thing I learned too was, hey, you don't get as many speeding tickets when you're driving a off-road vehicle. The police officers usually aren't posted up on the side of a trail clocking you with their gun, right? With their little speed gun there. So it's you can have a little more fun with your off-road vehicle and not stress about the police. But there are game wardens out there, and they definitely, you know, if you're out there up to no good, you know, they may be looking for you. All right, so we're actually going to park the Jeep over here under these pretty trees, these oak trees, get out and take a look at it and kind of talk about what we're looking at. Now, just give it a little time, guys and girls. I'm telling you, about a year from now, you're going to start seeing Broncos on the road quite a bit. You know, right now, currently, I can ride around town and you know, and point out several Jeep Wranglers. I mean, they're all over the place. But again, give it some time. The Broncos are going to start being all over the place as well. All right, so, you know, one thing is for sure, when we talk about vehicles being all over the roads, I mean, well, it's going to be a little while. I mean, you're not going to see as many Broncos as you will see Jeeps, because in reality, Jeep has had Wranglers out for a long time. You know, they're really, I can't think of any time periods where Jeep Wranglers weren't being sold as new vehicles. I mean, come on now, really. Yeah, not in my lifetime, right? I mean, you got your, you know, you got your YJs, right? You know, that's my lifetime there, the YJs, then the TJs, then the JKs. You also had, with the TJs, the LJs, the JKs, the JKUs, and the JLs. Now you got the, you know, the Gladiator. Back in the day, the CJ8s, which were the scramblers. So, I mean, so many Wranglers are all over the roads, and you can buy them for, you know, anywhere between $2,000 all the way up to $50,000, $60,000 on a new one, right? But now they do got it set up. Ford's definitely setting it up right now with the Broncos. I mean, first they got the small Bronco, which really to me kind of is like the size of a Ford Escape. And so they got that one. I think that's called like the Bronco Sport. Then you got your Bronco Base. Then you got your Bronco Big Bend, your Bronco Outer Banks. Then you have your Bronco Badlands, and then the Bronco First Edition. I looked those up online a little bit today, doing a little research, and those Broncos, let's say the Badlands and the First Editions, are anywhere between $40,000 and $56,000, right? Now, the one we just got done filming, the Big Bend, you can buy those anywhere between, you know, $30,000, $35,000, somewhere right around there. And then the Outer Banks, I think, is just around $38,000. Then your Bronco Sport, which is a really small one there, those are in the, let's say, the upper 20s, right? 28,000, 26, maybe even lower, right? But I know most people watching these videos aren't necessarily probably interested in the Bronco Sport so much, because if you are buying if you're looking at Jeep Wranglers like this, then you're definitely looking at Broncos that are similar size to this, not the small little Bronco Sport. So we haven't really dived into those, and I haven't even put my hands on a small one. But I do know that those are already out and being sold, because somebody up the street from our dealership at their house has one. Now, it's seen out there for a couple months now. So those are already kind of hit the roads or hit the dealerships. And they probably already got some of those stacked up on the dealership lot. But anyways, long story short today, if you're looking at a Wrangler and you're looking at a Bronco, right? Now, this one's probably not the best one to sit here and compare with, because it's got a lot of extras on it. But as I spoke about in my videos, here's the back area of the Jeep. And it actually has got a pretty decent amount of room back here. But I kind of wanted to see for myself, I pointed out on that Bronco how there was a lot of plastic in the back. And I said on some of my videos that the Jeep is similar, but actually as I'm sitting here looking at it right now, that is not really the case as much. Yes, there is some plastic, which actually seems a little more solid than what Ford has put in the back of the Bronco. The Bronco had more plastic even coming back in here. Jeep, they don't have any plastic back here. They got carpet. And that right there, that's solid. So that actually seems to be a little bit better setup in the back of the Jeep than what Ford did in the back of the Bronco with all that plastic. As far as this area is concerned, I think you got a little more storage space in here on the Jeep than you do on the Bronco. Okay, so you got that. So that's one main thing I wanted to point out today on this video. Both of them open up just like this. This one actually doesn't have an aftermarket swing arm. It's just a factory setup here. I always suggest, which the factory one holds the 35s and the 18s or whatnot just fine. But it is some weight. You know, this is definitely a lot heavier than your stock rim and tire setup. I always suggest customers maybe buying some type of swing arm setup for a little more solidness there. But yeah, this is all pretty stock for the most part. What this Jeep has done to it though is it's got different front and rear bumpers, you know, exhaust. Somebody added on these different fenders. When you're looking at the Ford Bronco, I don't really know. I know there's going to be a lot of aftermarket accessories, but are you really going to be able to change out fenders and all that stuff on the Bronco as much as you can with a Jeep? I mean, there's so many different applications on Wranglers that do different style fenders, you know. These I'm not a big fan of because they're just plastic, you know. I like something a little more stronger, maybe a solid metal, you know, something like that. But anyways, it is what it is. To me, this one's more or less set up kind of like a mall crawler, set up for the shows. Does have a really nice aftermarket hood, and we know hoods will be coming for Broncos as well. And then the front up here, this is definitely a bigger, more solid setup for off-roading. You got your winch right here and all that. This kind of looks similar to what you got on the Bronco, but again, the factory one on the Bronco, which it's cool that it already has one on there, one of those bars, but it is a lot smaller and thinner than what you got on this ARB here, right? So those are things to think about. You know, the other thing to think about too, I don't think, like on your Bronco, you don't have this kind of setup with these little things to pop your hood. I think you're still probably getting in the car and pulling a latch, I'm pretty sure. There's your snorkel, right? They'll have those for Broncos as well. A lot of things you get on Jeeps will be on those, just like Toyota 4Runners, you know? A lot of stuff you get on 4Runners are on these. Snorkels and lights and bumpers and all. I mean, heck, you can get them for Toyota RAV4s, Land Cruisers, Nissan Xteras, all that stuff. So a lot of times aftermarket parts aren't just available for one particular type vehicle. They make them for all vehicles that are set up for overlanding and off-roading. Doors come off on your Jeep. They come off on your Bronco. The tops can be taken off and on and all that. I really like the soft top on the new Bronco. It is really nice. But the ones on the new Jeeps are really nice too. I wish I had a new Jeep to really compare with and show you. Now, those handles we were talking about on your Bronco were kind of cool, right? I mean, seriously, they're built into right here, which was kind of nice. You really, on a Jeep, all you really have to grab a hold of is right here when getting in. Yes, you can buy the little poles that kind of pop off right here, which are nice to have. But I really think that's going to be a good spot there for Ford with theirs. A lot of the times when we have a Jeep lifted up, when I'm going to get in, if it doesn't have this here, I mean, really, your main thing to grab a hold of is this right here, the steering wheel, to pull yourself into the vehicle. So yeah, let's do that. I'm in. Okay, I did like all the auxiliary switches on the top. Like this car here has aftermarket ones right there. Boom, 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 boom. Click, 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 click. Okay, and The Bronco, a lot of people hadn't really mentioned, or I didn't really mention a whole lot of it, but I did show it. The window controls on your Bronco, the Jeep are right here. The Bronco is down here. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't really matter so much. Either way, they got to be somewhere in the middle, because if you take the doors off, you know, you got to have access to still. Well, hold on a minute. Time out. Hold on. If you take your doors off, you don't even need to control your windows, because you don't have windows anymore. So, oh, but the window controls are here because if you didn't have the doors on, the window controls on most cars are on the doors, right? Yeah, but again, if your doors are off, you're not even using this stuff. So does it really matter at the end of the day if the window switches are on the door or in the middle or down here? I guess really not so much, does it? No, not really. So anyways, guys and girls, I really make some of these videos so y'all will get in the comment sections and talk about it, get some discussion going between the two vehicles. So if you can do that, that would be phenomenal. You know, what are your thoughts? Would you still go out and buy yourself a Jeep Wrangler? If you had $50,000 to play with right now, would you go buy a Jeep Wrangler or a Ford Bronco, or would you go buy a 4Runner or a, you know, some type of Nissan? You know, which one would you go out there and buy? I know there's a lot of people saying, oh, I'll go out and buy the Jeep because, you know, Ford's probably still got some bugs to work out and all that kind of stuff. But, and I know that's a statement you hear a lot. But though, do we not think Ford hasn't really already tried working out most of the bugs and all? They've probably been working on it and, you know, tweaking it and doing all that stuff on the Bronco for quite a while now. Ooh, the 3.6 VVT feels pretty good. On the Bronco, you're getting two different engine choices, right? You're getting that 2.4, I believe it is, and a 2.7 V6, which I find to be kind of interesting. I mean, a 2.7 V6. Again, to me, it's always been either like a 4.0, you know, inline straight 6 motor in an old school Jeep, or a 4.0 V6 like we got in our Toyota 4Runners and Tacomas. Also, newer Tacomas have a 3.5 V6. But I'm really interested to see how well a 2.7 V6 with 310 horsepower performs. So that'll be interesting. And I know there's tons of videos out there you can already go out and watch on YouTube with the car reviewers that get first access to them. But anyways, I'm Chad. I'm just doing my thing out here talking about new cars coming out. As I always will tell you, come see me at Southern Motor Company to get your next vehicle. We may not have the new ones, but we do have the pre-owned ones. And let me tell you, guys and girls, when I went down to Jones Ford and filmed the new Bronco, and I showed the boss man here at the store the video of it, he said immediately, all right, we got to go out and find us a used Ford Bronco. So he actually has been online looking and hunting for pre-owned Broncos. So we may be getting something. I don't know if it'll be a 2021, but we may be able to get us some old school stuff, you know, because it's pretty hot right now. Everybody's talking about it, and it's kind of exciting. All right, guys, we'll see you soon. God bless you. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and get in that comment section and let me know, what do you think? All right, we'll see you then.